Right before a fight, it's completely terrifying. It's probably the most scared I get. But by the time the bell rings, I am ready to go. I'm like revved up for my whole life, but especially when I'm boxing. I'm a philosophy professor, so my job is getting students to challenge their most fundamental beliefs and think about why they believe these things. Somebody give me an example of something that you might take into account when deciding who gets an organ. Yeah.
A person's age.
Okay, age. And which way does that go? One lucky thing about being an academic is we tend to go for a long, long time. I'm supposed to be productive and creative and vibrant for many, many decades into the rest of my life. When I hit 40, I started to notice that just being somebody who walked and biked was no longer going to be enough to keep me in pretty good shape. So I went to the gym and I was really undermotivated. One day, my personal trainer taught me the three main power lifts, the deadlift and the squat and the bench press, just to vary up our routine. The idea that I was this tiny little person who could go to the gym and move big weights and big numbers around was a real burst of adrenaline for me. It was really thrilling, and I've been committed to it ever since. A graduate student said to me, "There's this incredibly old school boxing gym. Would you ever want to go try it with me?" I just thought it was like a cool thing to try, and I could say, "Hey, I boxed this one time." And I just immediately fell in love with it. The first time you punch something properly and you feel that power as it makes contact is just this absolutely empowering thrill. And I fell in love with this other rich world, which was completely different from my academic world, but that had lore to it and all kinds of elaborate social rituals to it. By the time I started boxing, I was 44, so I didn't really think it was a serious goal to fight. I kind of assumed that people as old as me were not candidates. After I had been boxing for a year or so, I started discovering that there were all kinds of people who were fighting well into their 50s, 60s. That completely reoriented my understanding of what was possible, and once I realized that that was a thing that people did, I became really committed to fighting. I'm excited to be a person who has had actual sanctioned boxing matches in my 50s. There's not that many of us. I felt silly decorating my house with various lifting and boxing trophies, so I put them all in my office where they intimidate my undergraduates. I've thought a lot about what I want out of myself as I age. I've been lifting for over 6 years. I've been boxing for over 5 years. I'm 50 years old. I'm still going strong in both sports. I don't have any intention of quitting either of them anytime soon. I don't want to feel like I've finished developing or changing. I want to be somebody who, till the last moment of my life, is absorbing what's going on around me, learning from it, growing and shifting. And I feel like that's something that we can do at any age.